Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right, you're with me. That's good. We have some people that are here for the first time today. One is my father-in-law, Charlie Chuck Hoffman, yay, from the pavilion. And oops, Nell is back. Welcome back. And Bob Wasserman, I hear, there he is right there in front. I've seen him. So anybody else for the first time? Thank you for coming. And oops. This is for Milton. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good. I have a story about this. This is his speaker that goes with his hearing aids. Last month, it was on a lanyard and I put it around my neck. And at wind down later that afternoon, someone said, Marcia, you only have one earring. And I came back here, looked, didn't find it. Came back that evening with flashlights, moved the podium, didn't find it. The next day, Sandra Harano, the treasurer who had come up, and I'd taken the lanyard off so she could wear it. It was in her shoe. So I now have a full set of earrings. This one, in anticipation of maybe a lanyard again today, has, a button on the back. So give us a high sign if you can't hear us. Okay. I don't see anybody else here from Zoom, but I am recording it. So if we hear from people later. And you know what? Hang in there. Jeff, we don't have more than 75 in here, do we? Because I'm ice cream afterwards. Ice cream sandwiches. So hang in till the end. Okay. Sandra Harano, our treasurer. Oh, I shouldn't have told you. Jeff, pass her the sign. Yeah. Is that better? Standing over it. All right. Treasurer isn't here. She has a granddaughter in town. With her treasurer's report, our total assets as of the end of April, $12,381.88. Income from cash and carry in May, $316. We had expenses of $406.04. Primarily meals of grace, but that amount of $300 covered 2 months because Sandra had been away in April, so it didn't get posted then. So the net result is $12,291.84. So that's our treasurer's report. Are there any questions about it? Okay. The minutes from the last meeting were sent out in the email yesterday, and I believe they're on the portal. So you had an opportunity to read them, I hope.
I request that we discontinue them.
All right, Beverly has put forth a motion that we dispense with reading of the minutes in lieu of having already had them available. Is there a second? Many seconds. We'll pick Lane as a second. Any discussion or dispute? All in favor? Thank you. All right, Nelson, I saw Elaine here. Is Nelson here? Oh, right there. Come on up, Nelson. Oops. It's double-sided.
A priest and a rabbi were sitting on adjacent seats on an airplane. After a while, the priest turns to the rabbi and asks, "Is it still a requirement of your faith that you do not eat pork?" The rabbi replies, "Yes, that is still one of our laws." The priest then asks, "Have you ever eaten pork?" "Yes, on one occasion, I did submit to temptation and I ate a bacon sandwich," said the rabbi. The priest nodded in understanding and went on with his reading. After a while, the rabbi spoke up and said, "Father, it's still a requirement of your church that you remain celibate?" The reply, "Yes, that is still very much a part of our faith." The rabbi then asked him, "Father, have you ever fallen to the temptation of the flesh?" The priest kind of hesitates and says, "Yes, Rabbi. On one occasion, I was weak and I broke the pledge of my faith." The rabbi nods understandingly and remains silent for a few moments. Finally, he quietly observes, "Sure beats a bacon sandwich, doesn't it?"
All right, thank you. Fred McIntyre and Susan and Tommy, I see, are on via Zoom, so welcome to you folks. Outreach, David Burrow is away with Martha. So, oh, wait, I missed spiritual life. Bobby, you didn't jump up, Bobby.
I'm sorry, I didn't get you on track.
Well, I just remembered that David doesn't like following Nelson.
Okay, we've had some deaths this month, since last month, and different people that were not here very long, but the one had been here a long time. I think, and I'm not sure about this, but I think she may have come over when we closed Center Claire and they built the new, worked on the new healthcare. So that's been almost 11 years ago. So I'm not sure about that. So, but anyway, Zeffie Dunlap, she had been in healthcare a good while. Betty Carter was here just for rehab several times. And so we want to remember her. And Peggy Corbett was in rehab for one day before she passed away. So she was not here, very long. And Jane Swaim had been here in rehab until June the 2nd, and she moved to Hinkle House in Lexington, and she passed away there. But she had been in rehab, so she was one of ours. And we had a bunch of people that have fallen and had health concerns that I want to mention. Eva Smith had back surgery. She's doing well, and I saw her Friday in healthcare. She was working hard. So she seems to be doing well, but she's still in rehab. Diane Cotton is home and doing really well. She walks all over the campus, and she's trying real hard to get back, from her surgery. And Paul Martin had knee surgery, and he's at home, but he's still in a lot of pain. I don't know if he ever went to rehab or not, but anyway, he is home now. Ann Jones, a lot of you have been asking me about her. She is recovering from her surgery, and she was at, I can bite the phone, I reckon. Microphone, okay, sorry. She has, is recovering from surgery, and she was at Moses Cone, which I never did know where she was hospitalized from her surgery. And she's doing some physical therapy there, but she's hoping to be released to rehab in the next couple of days. So we'll see how she does, but she did very well with the surgery that she had. Jessie Simrel fell in her room, and I saw her Friday, and of course she has a bruised face, and but she's so happy all the time. You know, she's just a happy person, and so she seemed to be doing well. Joyce Floyd fell in her room, and she is in rehab, and I saw her Friday, and she seemed upbeat and happy to be at least close now. She was in Baptist, I think. And Bill Hield, who lives in the pavilion, he is in rehab. Now, Jackie Baxley fell this morning and had to go to the ER. She hit her face, I think Lonnie said this morning, and she was at the emergency room instead of at exercise. So quite a few people falling. So y'all be careful. Just watch where you step and what you do. It's really, you know, that's our main, seems like our main fear and way of being injured. So be real careful. We have one new resident to move in since last meeting, and it's Randy Wilson, and I saw him one day when I was walking Daisy Doodle, and met him and talked to him a little bit, and he said, quote, he was tired of sitting at home with no one to talk to, so he was happy here. And I thought that was neat. And he has a lot of family, actual, not just our family now, but family here that lives on Kentucky Court. So it's kind of nice that he has that also. So that's all I have.
Thank you for keeping track of all that for us. So, Milton, are you still hearing us?
Yeah.
Okay, because the light went out. All right. Outreach. David and Martha, as I said, are away. For Fairgrove Family Resource Center, we last month collected or donated, we gave collectively $670. This Friday, it's another time where we can contribute again. And food items, there were 1,010 food items collected from the gallery and 5 from the veranda. Our volunteers for that, Joe Carpenter, Doris Stocks, Arlene Crane, Eugenia Holsty. Meals of Grace at the end of May served 20 meals. Team number 1, Judy and Daryl Embry, Jane and Don Wright, David Burrow, Martha Burrow was a substitute. Thanks to Nancy and Larry Norman for providing half of the hamburgers. Team 2 will serve the meal on June 24th, which is this Friday. Sandwiches were made at the end of May, 96 sandwiches as usual by the team with Katina Olive, Betty Tucker, Jane Ryerson, Priscilla Joyce, Bobby Rivers. Jean Thompson did the shopping and Ira Buccalo did the delivery. The next time for the sandwich making is at the end of this month. Here, I'm confused because it was moved to Memorial Day. So sandwich making will be June 27th in the veranda kitchen at 8:15 a.m. for you early birds. All right, so that's David's report. Next up is Ginger with Norcross and beautification.
Good.
Just this morning.
Okay, good. I afternoon. We have a lot happening here on campus. And not only do we have volunteers watering, but we have staff that has volunteered and doing the watering. So our new area out front still looks wonderful. Darren's taking care of that. And we have, and the big old ugly tank there on the entrance service road, it's been painted. So that looks nice too. So I know we have a main entrance, but most of us use that service road, and so do our guests a lot of time. But a lot of things happening, a bad summer for beautiful flowers, but they are being kept up, and I'm thankful for that. Okay, remember me putting this in your mailbox? It said member or not. We had 8 people to respond from this. 4 of these people that responded went ahead and paid their dues for 2023. That's how excited they are to be a member of Norcross. And we have 4 new members. So if you are not a member of Norcross, please do join. Okay? Tell them about this. I don't know what Norcross is. Norcross. Well, what is it other than North Carolina continuing? Yeah. It's our leading age, right? And we have representatives that take care of us. Right now, there's a tax bill that hasn't been voted on, and that tax bill is whether we will have to pay extra tax on our monthly, and we don't want to do that. You know, one thing about senators and all these people that have to be voted in, they have to have votes, and seniors vote. And by you being a member of Norcross, that's a vote right there. So think about it. Thank you. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, good.
Cash and carry. See, Robert's here.
Okay, cash and carry for the month of May, we made $316, and we got contributions from things that just appear in the storage room from various neighbors. And we also got some things from Martha Johnson. Michael Pittman found a little round occasional table. Don't know where he got it or anything, but he donated that, and Sandy painted the thing gray, and it looks great now. It was a real rag when she got it. But it looks good now, and it's on sale for $50 in cash and carry, and I think it's on Marketplace. One of our, Sandy and I, one of our former neighbors asked me to build them a custom bench out of headboards, like I did one other time. So he wanted one that's a little wider, so I got a full-size bed for the back of it, put arms on it and a seat and everything. It's ready, and he's supposed to come by and pick it up today, and that will bring in $200 for that. And for a yard sale, we finally settled in on September 30th, and it will be something like a fall festival. We want to try to sell baked goods, and it's something to eat along with the things that we have here. Yeah. And also we're kind of low on stuff like furniture. We're just about completely out of furniture. If anybody has anything to donate that's worthwhile, we would like to have it. And we'll be looking for plenty of volunteers to help us with this, with baking and stuff, and also volunteers to get everything set up and assist people who are buying and to tear down and for the yard sale. And we'll be calling on you. And that's it for cash and carry.
I'm glad he mentioned that, because we won't be meeting association-wise in July and August. So it might be short notice at our meeting in September. So Now you know, September 30th, yard sale. So don't you need some new furniture so we can have your old furniture? Oh, I heard 30. All right, September 10 now. Thank you.
It was 30.
All right. Okay. And also a reminder, if you want to see what is new in cash and carry, some of the larger, more unique items, turn on your cable channel to 1390, and Robert and Sandy have been good about posting those with the help of Crystal, Karen, or whoever it is over there that does that magic. So you have that on. And under social, Beverly Lanzer, she's ready to roll.
Yeah, just let me, I'm gonna roll it there. I just wanted to let everyone know there will be entertainment this month at the Covered Dish. We will have a male quartet that'll consist of Ron, David, Don, and Tom. And Billy is going to play the piano for them. So that'll be at the Covered Dish this time. I would like our volunteers to be there at 4:45 to set up for supper. And if you cannot be there, please call me so I can get some people to replace you. I think that's all. Okay. Thank you. Let me see if I can get down off of here now.
And also a thank you to all of you who do participate in Covered Dish by helping to set up with the tables in the morning, placemats, putting the food on the buffet table, and then cleaning up and sweeping and doing dishes and all that. It takes a lot of people, but I think we all have a good time. Right, Lane? Yeah. Our MC keeps us on target. Ann Mackey, do you have something?
The only thing is that now on channel 1390, you can see what is acceptable for recycling and what is not acceptable. Please look at that and heed what it says. Thank you.
For those on Zoom, if you didn't hear Ann shouting from the sidelines, on channel 1390, there are guidelines for what is acceptable for recycling and what's not. So keep that in mind. Okay, neighborhood reports, Jack Parsons. From the pavilion.
On this block for a quick report. Hello, everybody. We don't have any new residents, but we're going to get some. We've got at least 2 coming next month. So we'll have one thing I wanted to update Bobby. Bill Hill, I understand, is back in the hospital. So, oh, one more now. I had a new grandson this morning, great grandson.
Oh, good. Great grandson.
Great. And that's about all.
All right, that was worth coming up here for.
It was. And we do have empty apartments, so if anybody needs one,
Come on over.
and the food is getting better there.
Pat Rich has a birth announcement as well.
I have a new great grandbaby too, and it's the first little boy, so everybody's real excited.
Okay, so Pat Rich's announcement, new great grandson, which she's going to go and see after this meeting. Okay. And I see Peggy Tucker has joined us. And Lane, Miranda A and B.
Everything's pretty quiet on the veranda front.
All right, thank you. Is Randall back? Oh, all right, thank you, Dorian. Kennedy Court, Linda Miller.
Just to welcome Randy Wilson, 502, like Patty said.
All right, thank you. Gallery, is Eugenia here?
No,
Any report?
no.
Moving right along. Okay, Frank Circle, Diane. No report. Flick Circle, Janie. No report. Larry, would you like to report anything? Okay. Because he's one of those that missed Bobby's report, he had fallen. But as you see, he's here and Fred's here. So good news for Flick Circle. All right, under bereavement care, we brought this up at the meeting last month where we're working on a plan so that when an independent living resident passes away, that we will offer, we meaning the association will offer a food tray for them, a deli tray from Ingalls. So we're working out the procedure for that. And it is expected and hoped that the resident or neighborhood reps will be the one who will order the tray and deliver it to the family here on campus. You know, you're not going to take it to Virginia or anywhere, but to let them know that we're thinking of them and make it a little easier when they're here in town. So that's in the works. There has been discussion in the past about emergency procedures. So we're working on that. The board is, with the help of David Burrow, he's going to be talking with the fire chief. He knows the fire chief, but when was the last time you opened up your residential living handbook? Well, it's got handy dandy dividers in it. And there is one back here called emergency procedures. So if you look there and on page 4 of that section, it talks about the veranda A and B. If the fire alarm sounds, all residents should evacuate the building. Building B, exit and go to the driveway of Schuler Cottage 308, which is the Crabtrees, and 310, which is the Baxleys. Building C, exit and go to the driveway of Cottage 312, which is the Hubert or Olives, Hubert and Catines. Remain in the parking lot unless instructed otherwise by staff or fire department. Wait for further instructions and an all clear announcement. So these are rather general. And if we have people up on the second floor who are unable to navigate the stairs, and you know we aren't to use an elevator during an emergency like that. So we'll ask the fire chief to see what he can do for us or what he can recommend for us. So just to let you know that that's in the works, and dust yours off if you can find it and look through it. Are there any particular questions about that you'd want us to take forward? Okay, just to let you know that that's something we're working on. Under new business, 4th of July, again on channel 1390, our particulars about our 4th of July event with a picnic under the tents over here in the parking lot of Veranda C. And so a picnic meaning we're going to have something to eat. I don't remember just what it is. And then the hamburgers and hot dogs, typical 4th of July fare. And then our golf cart parade will begin forming at 1:30. I believe it's going to take place under here, but just mark your calendar. And at a meeting at the end of last week, Corey Tobin from the town of Thomasville, I don't remember his exact title now. He had been in director of Parks and Recreations. But anyway, he let us know that the fireworks this year are going to be presented from Hughes Park, which is right behind the gallery. So Hughes, like Joyce Hughes, Hughes Park. So weather permitting, and you get a good place above the trees, through the trees, maybe we'll be able to see it if we gather, I don't know if on the field, on Flick Circle, by the garden behind gallery. but we should be able to see the fireworks. So I'll be sending out a notice when I get more information about what time that's gonna happen, that maybe we can make it a street festival.
Past our bedtime.
Past, well, it's past Ginger's bedtime. Okay. That's for the 4th of July. Sherry Scott had to go out and take care of something. What she wanted me to share with you is to remind you that this Wednesday, tomorrow, at the Bistro between 4:30 and 6 o'clock, we're going to have wraps, wine and beer, wine, beer, and wine slushies at $2 each. So the wraps, I don't know what flavor they are, but wraps and chips for $10. So they're working on getting the Bistro open. We all want it to be open at least 5 days a week. So this is a start. The other thing is on Wednesday, instead of the movie here in the veranda, that movie has been moved to July. Instead, the Crossing String Band, again, that's something that on channel 1390, they've got a cute graphic, which I stole yesterday and put in my email, with band members, Steve Blake, Doug Cooper, Dave Mead, Bob Szymanski, Chuck Woodson, Kim Cates. Acoustic, upright bass, guitar, accordion, guitar, mandolin, and Kim is the singer. Yes.
Suggestion. I don't know whether it's old or new business. If I may.
Yes. And Landris from the pavilion is going to come up. He doesn't know if it's old or new business, but we'll let him know after we hear it.
I don't know whether this is old or new business, but I have 2 or 3 things I would like to ask some answers to. First of all, a little over 4 years ago, when I came here, and out my back window, the wooded area behind the pavilion needed a lot of trees cut down. That has been accomplished. At the same time, I asked that all of the dead limbs behind there be removed from the trees. At the time, they said it's too wet, we can't get the machine in. Well, since that time, we've had a lot of dry weather. The limbs are still there and they are increasing in number. I would like to see something done to get those dead limbs removed from the trees so that the view out the back windows can be better viewed. Also, I think I've heard today from someone that something is being done as far as watering the flowers, especially in memory gardens. Up to this point, I have been doing all of that, but this past year, I have not been able to pull the hose around like I used to. I need some help. We need some help. If it doesn't rain by a Thursday or Friday of each week, my suggestion is that someone from maintenance will water those flowers and take care of them. Now, there's one bed that I had flowers in, and I can reach that with the hose by standing at the outlet of the water. But the rest of it I cannot do anymore. So I would like to see something done along that line also. Also, I want to say that as far as the food is concerned, the breakfast has improved 100%. My question is, when are we going to get back to the menus that we had 3 and 4 years ago, where you had many choices at a meal? Today, we have some choices, but it's sure not like it was 3 and 4 years ago. And I'm wondering when that will take place. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll leave that for them to answer. But I understand Ed's concern about the Memorial Garden there between the pavilion and the dining hall, that area up there, that it is a nice place to sit. I know Ed enjoys sitting out there and reading and doing his puzzles, but the flowers do need some attention. I don't see Penny here, but Nancy Beard is back in town. So Nancy Beard from Every Age Foundation.
I have my squeaky shoes on today, so you can hear me coming. Hello, everyone, and everyone on Zoom. Good to see you. Man, when I saw the crowd coming in, it's like, this is a great crowd. It's almost a full house. Well, I haven't been here because I've been at Lake Prince Woods doing their capital campaign, and Thursday, we are going to wrap it up. We launched it in October. It was $1 million capital campaign, and we raised over $1.4 million. So woohoo. But the exciting part for me was the largest gift was $469,000, and that was a legacy gift that was left from a resident who passed away, which is amazing. But this is legacy season for us. This is the time that we send out letters about how you can become a member of the Julia Society. We send out a note to thank our current members. But what I want to say is 469,000 is not normal. So anybody who's thinking that they want to leave a legacy gift to Every Age Foundation to be used for Piedmont Crossing, that's not. We have legacy gifts of all sizes, and 469, you don't get many that size during your career. So we're just thankful that that couple wanted to do that. They had only one child who died of leukemia at 14. And they wanted her to be remembered forever. So we will be naming the Portsmouth Center up at Lake Prince Woods after their daughter. So that's how that gift came about. But we were told that we had a major problem up there getting gifts, major gifts, which a major gift is a gift of 25,000 or above. And we ended up getting 15 gifts of that size. We actually had a corporation up there step forward with $200,000. So it can be done, and it was exciting. Good news. What was it that I've heard that we need here is that we need shade for the new outdoor exercise area. So I went back to one of our donors, and they have agreed to give $5,000 for shade covering or a walkway for the outdoor exercise area. And as far as I know, that should complete that area and complete that project. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Bolick Foundation that has given this money. They have given for this project now $20,000. They're in Conover, North Carolina. They started out with, it's Southern Furniture Company. And they are a Christian ministry. That is their foundation is all about spreading the word. And they have hand selected Piedmont Crossing to share this word with us. So $20,000 so far from the Bolick Foundation to help you here. So I'm incredibly thankful for that. I do have a new office manager, my long-term office manager, Stephanie. She left in December, and I had an intermediate one that was gone very quickly. And Now I have one that I think is going to stay. And guess what? She has the same last name as me, Gretchen Beard. She is not related to me. Beard must be a big name around there. And she's awesome. So I can't wait for you to meet her. But if you need to talk about a gift or anything, you just call Gretchen Beard and she will take care of that. Beverly Lanzer today reminded me that I might want to share with you how important it might be to, if you give a gift to the foundation, that you might want to restrict it to Piedmont Crossing campus enrichment. Compared to the other two campuses, they do have a lot more money in their campus enrichment. So each year they get a lot more things. And so Beverly's on the committee that makes that decision. And she's always a little disheartened that Piedmont Crossing doesn't get all those things. So she said, well, maybe we just need to remind people that when you give a charitable gift, you can restrict it to Piedmont Crossing campus enrichment. So just keep that in mind. Last, I wanted to share with you, I stopped at Kids Only on my way over here just to hopefully get a good wish list of some things they need, talk to them. They will have their 5-star rating come up in December. So of course they start now preparing for that so that it looks good and they have all the things they need. So I said, I want to challenge our group here to do something to help Kids Only right here on campus. So I'm going to give a challenge. It's a big challenge. I'm going to ask you by August the 1st for us to get 100 new books for Kids Only. Now, if everybody gave 2 to 3 books, if you can't get out to pick books, but I will say Big Lots and Ollie's has the best kids books there, and they are so inexpensive. If you can't, if you wanted to give a charitable gift, Beverly said, can I give money for that? You can, but make sure you say that it's restricted for the books. And if that's the case, I will go buy the books for you. But it's so much fun. But here's what they need. So we don't want to just go buy any book, but we need them from infant to age 5. They need to be on nature, science and math, different cultures, diversity, or careers. Like, what is it to be a nurse? What would it be like to be a school teacher? So these are, we need 100, and I'm going to go back to my leadership team and I'm going to say, I'm challenging each one of you to go out. I'm going to make them go out and buy 5 new books for our children. The other thing they need that is so good, you can go home and check through your collection. I wish I would have known this a few weeks ago. I just moved to a 55+ community and gave away half of my stuff. So I can't tell you how many CDs I got rid of. They need CDs that could be used, music that can be used for educational purposes. So let's say you have pan flute music from Ireland, or you have bagpipes from Scotland. Any kind of music you have that you think there's a way that we could incorporate teaching about different cultures, teaching about different places. We need the CD musics also. So we set a goal that we want to get 20 educational CDs of music and 100 books by August the 1st. So I hope you'll join us in that and let Kids Only know how much we love them. We love having a 5-star children's program on campus. And that's pretty simple for us to do. So I hope you'll help me with that. Are there any questions for me? Yeah. There are 25 right now. Her goal is to have, she said her goal was to have 35. Yeah, she explained to me, Doug can say better than I can. She explained to me that all the calls she's getting right now are for 2 to 3-year-olds, and she doesn't have space in that area, but they do have a new baby coming in soon. So that's what they're doing. She also shared that 75% of the children at Kids Only are children who get government assistance to be here. Because I went through, I said, show me the price list. What does it cost now to send a child to daycare? And I mean, I'm floored. I don't know how anybody, and we are very inexpensive. And our staff get 25% discount if they bring their children, but I don't know how people work and have a couple children in daycare, but they do, and they make it work. Any questions for me?
Nancy, going back to the books.
Yeah.
We purchased books. Where should you take?
Oh, good Sherry, if you put him in Sherry's office, she will take him. Thank you for that. See, I didn't have Sherry as my prompt sitting over there to remind me. Any other questions? Good to see you, and hopefully I'll see you in September. That's a song. See you in September. Thank you.
Next, yes, Doug, waiting in the wings.
Good afternoon, everyone. And happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. You know, Nelson, you mentioned the bacon sandwich, which got me to thinking, okay? I'm not gonna say about what, but at our church, two weeks ago, we had our homecoming. Most of you have been to a homecoming, and we bring in a group to sing, and then we feed them lunch and all that. It's also an opportunity to embarrass your adult children, okay? And so somewhere in the conversation after church, you know, how many children do you have? And I said, well, we have 2 boys, but we're still trying for a girl. All because of your bacon sandwich. Okay? Oh, let's see. Right now, some of you may have received the invitation. We've talked about the infrastructure we're going to do on the vacant acreage. Well, before you can do the infrastructure, you need to decide what you're going to build, okay? Because that kind of goes hand in hand. So there's a third party, I don't recall, it starts with T, something like Timken, but a few of you may have been contacted to get your input on what we should build. I think they'll show you a variety of floor plans and prices and sort of the input. Now, it's a sample, so not everybody's going to get that, but I wanted to make you aware that that survey is going around. And then once we decide what we're going to build and whether or not we can sell at the market price that it's going to cost to build those, we'll proceed. Veranda B, we had a soft estimate, I think about a year ago, about $1.1 million. Okay, so we put it out for bid and we got 2 bids back. 2 chose not to even place a bid because apparently they've got more than they can handle. The 2 bids were $1.9 million and $4 million. Now we're smarter than we look. We went with the 1.9 million. So we're working on that. The construction will obviously occur while you remain in your home. So we'll have to have some coordination so you know what's going to happen when and those kind of things. But I don't have a start date. But as I learn more, I'll share it with you from that standpoint. Yes, ma'am.
Can you remind us of the general things to be done?
Well, it's going to be basically an exterior upgrade. It will involve railings, replacement, involve new windows, doors. There'll be more than likely we'll redo the decks on the back. You know, a little bit of that is yet to be. We hadn't had our final meeting where you go over all the specs, but it will be an exterior upgrade, but it will be pretty extensive. Trying to see if I can read my writing here. Okay. Ed, okay, and you're correct. We have cut dead trees down because I remember when you requested that. We also put pine needles down. I'll take a look at the dead limbs coming back and I'm perfectly fine with picking up off the ground. Okay, but I mean, it's pine trees and I know that because I spent the weekend cleaning my own yard from those winds we had. And I swear I cleaned all day Saturday and come out Sunday and there was more laying there. But so it's going to be you know, pine trees are just that way. Okay, but you know, anytime you know where my office is at, so stop in from that standpoint. Planting or watering, I think you mentioned some watering that we're doing both from the standpoint of volunteers and staff. By the way, how are your tomato plants coming? How are your tomato plants?
Your tomato plants.
Oh, they're doing good.
Okay,
They're where I can get to.
okay, well, I knew you had some tomato plants, but we'll continue to look at that. Now, you mentioned the food and I know several weeks ago that we put the alternate menu back in place, which involves grilled hamburgers, hot dogs, fries. So the alternate menus in place. We have continued and we serve 2 entrees, lunch and dinner, along with vegetables.
I appreciate that, but it's still not back where we were 3 and 4 years ago as far as the menu were concerned.
Well, I think, we did a survey. I don't know if you returned yours or not, about 2 to 3 weeks ago of the folks that eat in the hearth. And actually, out of 25, about 8 thought the food was great. Okay, 2 thought the food was bad. So I think the answer is somewhere in between the 2. I know we were continuing to hire. I'm not fully staffed yet, but I know we've added cooks, but I think our menus, pretty much, my problem now is getting enough folks to open the bistro on a regular basis. So,
They've hired people that begin in the cafeteria, but for long, they've transferred them somewhere else in the
Well,
building.
I'm
And
feeding a bunch of people, so that's probably true. And so I know, for example, we promoted one to be a supervisor back in another part of the building. Well, I mean,
And the
that's,
ones they transferred
that-
were excellent.
okay, well, I understand, and that's why they were promoted, okay, so, so I just need to staff with bad people in the hearth and we're good to go, okay? But, as I say, we're making progress, we're better than a month ago than we were, but I know a big deal to me and to most folks was putting the grilled menus back on there, so if you don't want, I heard a question last week, came up to the front desk, I didn't answer it, but we had fish and chips. And the question to the receptionist is, well, what kind of fish is it? Okay. It's a good thing I wasn't answering because my answer would have been dead. Okay. Anyway, they got her an answer, but I'm sort of like, okay, I never even thought about asking what kind of fish or is in fish and chips. Any questions for me? Yeah, I saw your cane. Jack, I thought you were raising your hand there. Okay, well, I saw your cane. Well, yeah. Yeah, well, I've got a wife for that. Okay, well, thank you very much. Mhm.
Anyone else have any questions, comments, concerns? Well, have a great summer, and on the way out, if you'd like an ice cream sandwich, they're on the 2 tables in the back. Enjoy.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.